I should do a countdown, but
Hey,
I
no
don't.
worries,
Anyways,
no worries. I don't
all
do that
right.
junk either.
So, all right, we're live. So, hey there, everybody. How y'all doing?
How's it going,
Gonna.
everybody?
This is been a while. It's been a minute. I used to do these around 30s for a long time. I think 2020, 21. I think I went through everybody. I was doing everything. So, anyways, known this guy for a while, and he reached out to me and said, you want to talk Transformers? I'm like, well, hell yeah. So let's just do another round 30. So this is Speakerhead. Speakerhead, how are you doing?
How's it going? I'm doing well, Deluxe. How about yourself?
I am well. I'm kind of bummed. I'm a football fan, and my Commanders played the Cowboys today, and they
Oof.
lost. And
Yikes.
yeah, so I'm not in really good mood, but I expect it. I knew that we suck. But other than that, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm great. I'm good to talk to talk Transformers with you. I've known you
Of
for a little
course.
bit. We've stayed in touch for a while and everything. But yeah. So oh, everybody, I got his YouTube channel in the description right now. I'm going to put some more stuff. He's going to send me some links to some other stuff and everything. Go check this guy out. He's really talented. I've watched his reviews and everything. Which have you been working on your reviews? The
So,
last review was about 3 weeks ago and everything.
yeah,
So
so that's the thing. Sadly, I don't have as much time as I'd like to work on stuff. But I will
yeah.
say I actually am finishing up a new posing video for how to pose your figures. This
Oh
time it's going to be based on Studio Series figures, since I know a lot of people tend to have some issues with their weird chicken legs and
yeah.
whatnot. So I
No
figured
ankle tilts. Yeah.
exactly.
Studio Series is hit and miss, man. They can be really great, and then they can like the wreckers from there. They're terrible. It's
Oh, really?
I just they're just really hit and miss with Studio Series, man. Sometimes they'll do really good, and then other times it's just like, what the hell are they thinking? I mean, this is terrible.
Yeah, I
So
only pick up really just like the figures that I personally had a
right,
attachment to when I was a kid. So
yeah,
the only ones I got are side swipe, sideways, Soundwave, because Soundwave is amazing,
yes,
and we got Grindor, Blackout, or
okay.
whatever you want to
So
call
you
it.
say as a kid, so is the Bayverse your G1? How old are you, if you don't mind
So
me asking?
yeah, no, that's totally fine. So it's actually kind of a weird story. So I'm 23 years old,
Oh hell
but
yeah, G1 is your Bayverse.
no, and here's the funny part. My G1 is G1 because back when YouTube was a wee young little
hmm
platform, they had all the old Transformers G1
Oh,
episodes uploaded on there. So me and my
okay.
buddy would sit around and watch all those G1 episodes when we were in
Wow.
like kindergarten, first grade. I remember
Yeah.
the first Transformer that I remember buying wasn't even one of the new ones. It was one of the old like reissue G1 Optimus Primes.
Okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So,
Yeah. But see,
but
so you grew up, golly. So you grew up. You was born in late '90s. So your Transformer as far as cartoons, you're talking about what what Cybertron,
yeah, I think that was
Energon,
on.
animated, maybe around
Yeah,
that
I was
area.
gonna say I remember animated. See, I remember the original like live action movie came out
hmm
generally when I was like 8 or 9, and that's when I was like really
Yeah.
getting into it. But I remember little tiny bits and pieces of like Energon and stuff like that. Like I don't
Yeah.
remember
That
his
was a big
name
one.
anymore, but I remember the goofy bits with the tiger shark guy. I don't remember his name.
Oh, well, you're talking about RID? Was that the Tiger Shark?
I'm trying. I might not have been a tiger shark. It was like a shark character
Yeah,
dude that
that was
was
with
like a comedy relief. I can't remember his name though.
um God, I forgot it too. Somebody will tell me in a couple
Yeah,
people are
we'll
watching.
remember later.
The shark was in RID, I think. That was 2000 or something like that. That was
Yeah, I remember watching that stuff. And
yeah.
actually, funny enough, the first ever Transformers that I really remember is the 1986 movie because my dad had
hmm
a little VHS tape of that. So
Yeah.
as a little 6-year-old, I got to watch all the Autobots die. It
Yeah.
was great.
Exactly. You remember I'm surprised you actually know what a tape is, actually, to be honest.
I
Most
know,
people
I know.
would not even know what a VHS tape was or anything.
Fun fact: I even have a one vinyl record over there,
Nice.
just one.
Who's the shark? Anybody what was the shark's name in RID? I forgot his name. Oh my
I
gosh, I
I
can't
I
believe
just know he's a fan favorite, and I think he even got didn't he get into like the Hall of Fame or something for
Yeah, he got a
Transformers too?
they did a reissue Thrilling 30 of him as well.
Yeah,
What
but
was his name? Extra Zero will tell me. I know he will if he's still watching everything. Um, let's see, what did I think? Oh, Extra, thank you so much for stopping by, Andrew. Everybody that's in so far, thank you so much for stopping by. What's this shark's name? My gosh, I forgot the shark's name. Anyway, let's get to the questions. Okay,
No
so and
worries.
everything. So, um, first off, tell us about your, your channel and how you got your name. Skybite. That's who it was. Skybite.
Skyway, there we go. See,
I couldn't
there we
remember.
go.
I'm like, golly, Sheik's Transformer Review. Thanks so much for talking about. But yeah, so tell us about your channel. How long have you been doing? I think you've been doing it for about a year. I think you started about a year ago. And how did you get your name? Speakerhead.
Sure. So I guess to start out, it'd probably be better to start with how I came up with my name and then kind of move from there, because the name actually came way before a lot of my channel stuff. So I've been doing just random little off channels for a while now, just like whatever topic I felt like doing. Like I've always done kind of review stuff. Like I actually used to do old tech reviews back in high school and stuff. But so I was always into audio and music. And around the time of graduating high school, which was a few years back, I ended up starting going to anime conventions. And my friend's like, oh, you should try to do some like original stuff for it. So being bored out of my mind and nothing better to do, I took an empty subwoofer box and I drilled 2 Bluetooth speakers on the side of it and put a little mesh on the front of it. And I was just like, I'm going to call this Speakerhead. I don't know what else to call it. It's a speaker on my head. So I ended up starting wearing that around for conventions, and a lot of people started really enjoying it. And then over time, I slowly started improving it, making it a little bit more better, making it more. I started realizing, I'm like, hey, I could kind of make this into a brand somewhat someday if I just actually make sure it's all clean and whatnot.
Right.
So then finally one day, I used to be completely all like head to toe in like pure black. So I decided, let's change it to a little bit more bright color. So I made the helmet red, and then I just kind of started basing all my outfits and junk about that, which is hilarious because I don't care about style at all. I'm not one of those people. So it's really funny that I have to go out and buy specific like red clothing for this outfit and junk. But yeah, so from there, I already had the brand thing. And then I told you a little bit before this about I used to be on TikTok a little while ago. You can go watch them. They're very cringy.
Isn't all cringy, though?
I know. I was extremely cringy, but some of them I was proud of, but most of them I was like, I'm going to take these down one day.
You see, when I get older and I have to get a job, I'm like, somebody might find this. I don't know.
I know. It's just like sometimes whenever people are talking about TikToks and stuff, I show them mine, but I'm just like, listen, just look at the number. Don't actually look at the content that's below that number.
This was a while back, all right?
I know.
We learn, we grow.
I'm a different man.
We grow. Yeah, we grow.
But yeah, so I had that like speakerhead thing going on TikTok for a while, and then I knew I did want to start up a YouTube channel with the speakerhead name. Gotcha. So that's when I originally created my channel. And if you even go back, obviously I don't have a bunch of junk posted because I wasn't really sure what I was going to post at the time. I was making a little bit of music in my spare time, so I thought maybe I'd start posting that on there. And then I'm also a huge gamer, so I wanted to do a lot of live streaming, and I wanted to do that on YouTube. So I'm like, maybe I want to do that on that channel. But once I started actually creating my channel, that's when I got really back into like my figure collection and collecting Transformers. Because I got back into I wasn't a huge Transformer. Well, I'll say this: I was always a huge Transformer fan, but I wasn't collecting Transformers only up until like a couple years ago. So it's like they're always cool to me, but I didn't like a lot of the mainline junk coming out at the time, and I genuinely didn't even really know about third party at that point. So, and third party, like, what was it, 10 years ago, was a whole different scene, you know.
It's a different ball game, yeah. It was
exactly.
New. I mean, I remember the heyday, man. 15 to 16, 17, like that. There was a new company coming out a lot more. Now it's very, sparingly. It's very. Most of the companies now are branches off of the main ones that we used to. So that's how we get mainly third party now. So they've been around the block. You can tell when their first one is Optimus Prime and it looks spectacular. You're like, oh, they've been around. They've
made a couple already.
Yeah, they've done stuff and everything. So they're just branching off and everything. So very cool. So that's very cool how you do everything in the channel is like. So well, I guess kind of to branch off of that, the next question is, why did you start a YouTube channel?
Well,
Just because you're bored.
I mean, I feel like that's a lot of people's reasons to start a channel, unless you're like specifically going to like for money. But let's be honest, in a lot of these like Transformer channels, you're not you're not doing it for the money. You're doing it for the passion.
No, it ain't the money. I can tell you right now, it's not the money.
So, but I figured since I did put a lot of money into this junk, I might as well show it off to people. And like I said, I really wanted to get into live streaming for the longest time. So I'm like, that's actually why I bought this camera, so I could use it for live streaming. Ironically enough, out of all the DSLRs I could have bought, this is the one that doesn't charge off of micro USB. So I have to take out the battery every time. I know, of course, one day we'll change it out. But so I always wanted to do live streaming. And like I said, I've always wanted to do YouTube content. So I just figured I'd just full send it, get myself a nice setup, get some nice lights, get a nice mic, a nice everything. So when I do start up a channel, it's just like I've learned from my mistakes from the past of not having all this junk. So I'm like, well, if I'm going to try to compete, especially in the streaming game these days, people, you got to make sure you're top notch. So
everybody, I mean, it's like you said with the money, as far as it's everybody and their mom is doing reviews now. I'm just telling you right now. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's cutthroat, but it's kind of cutthroat. I mean, there's a lot of reviewers out there, and you got to stand out and everything. So that's pretty cool. All right, nice. So we'll get into getting into some of the Transformers. So who is your favorite Transformer character? He or she, and why is that your favorite character?
Well, here, let me do this for you. We're going to zoom in on. Don't get me. That's 3 shelves of Soundwave right there.
Soundwave, okay.
Yeah, we got a few different Soundwaves over there. I actually just officially got 20 different versions of him.
Nice. Very nice.
But Soundwave's always been one of my favorites. It's part of it's because I've always been a huge music fan, obviously, by the Speakerhead branding. Which actually, funny enough, if you look at my new profile picture for my channel, I just did a little mashup of my Speakerhead with a recolor Soundwave. So I made So I figured might as well, if we're going to be sticking to Transformers, might as well make it a little bit more Transformer oriented.
Very nice. So, I mean, what do you like? Well, you like Soundwave. Do you like Blaster as well?
Okay. See, I love Blaster, but at the same time, at least when it comes to collecting figures, since we all got a budget, I'm like, if I'm going to stick with one, we're going to stick with Soundwave. I do have what's it called, McFan's Toys one and the KFC one back there. So I do got my blasters.
Nice, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. All right, cool, man. That's awesome. So Soundwave's a good character. I mean, it's always I want to say he's in the top 5 for about everybody most of the time. Usually,
I mean, with Frank Welker's voice and just like how he is, like it's hard not to like him.
I got to meet Frank Welker finally at BotCon in Nashville for the first time. I've met Peter Cullen 3 times, and I'm going to meet him in TFCon in Chicago this month. But I've never had a chance to meet Frank Welker. And he was going to be he was at BotCon, and I got to get something signed by him. Really nice guy, and I mean it's just awesome. I mean I'm glad I got to meet him.
I'm happy for you. That's awesome, because I think I told you I was actually at BotCon, which I'm so mad that I didn't get to meet you there. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Is it here in Nashville?
Yeah, I was at the one in Nashville's.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. You didn't tell me you was there.
No,
I didn't know you was going.
In my defense, it was kind of like a last minute thing. I actually live in Wisconsin, not to totally dox myself, but I live in Wisconsin, so I actually live right, like I'd say within like 20-ish minutes of where like Agabus's main like location is. So
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Hanny's
so
a good dude. Have you ever been to the? I know he's getting a store. Is it there yet? I mean,
they're working on it. It's just been taking forever, especially when COVID hit and everything. It's just like,
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I've known Hanny for 4 or 5 years now. He's a great dude. I'm so happy for him because he got to host BotCon, and I'm hoping he gets to do more. I think it did really good. I think there was a lot of people there, so I'm hoping that they do some more BotCons. And I'm just so happy for him. He's one of the good ones. I mean, he's just a great dude and everything. I would love to go up there and see the store.
Yeah, that's why I'm so grateful that I'm so close, because I mean I'm impatient. Yeah. So if I can just message them, just like, hey, can I set up a time to meet up and get it?
Now, do you go to there's a convention at the DairyCon? Do you ever go to the DairyCon?
Funny enough, I have not gone to DairyCon. I was going to go to this past one, but I unfortunately just some stuff came up where I wasn't able to go. But a friend just recently told me about it, and I didn't even know it was a thing. So next time it comes around, I'm definitely going to go check that out.
I think they have them every year. But man, I'm so sorry, man. I didn't get to see it at a BotCon, man.
Hey, let's just say this. Even Hanny was just like, "What are you doing here? You should be back in Wisconsin."
That's awesome. Are you? I guess you're not going to TFCon in Chicago then, are you? I guess you're not.
I've been debating it. It's kind of just up in the air. If I go,
if you decide, man, tell me, and we'll definitely meet up, man. We'll hang out.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, maybe one day.
I didn't know he was going to BotCon, man. I would have, we could have definitely hanged out. And everything.
In my defense, I didn't tell you anything. Like I said, it was kind of a spur of a moment.
That's true. That's awesome. Well, did you have a good time? I mean, did you? How long were you there? Were you there all weekend?
I was just there for I'm Saturday, so I drove up Friday night, and with the power of caffeine, I made it through the entire 8-9 hour drive, and I just kind of survived the day. Hung out at the hotel where the convention center was for the day. It was really cool. It was honestly, I loved it. I've never been to a Transformer convention, so I'm so glad this was my first. Wow. Yeah, I've been to a lot of anime, but never a Transformer one. I know.
Yeah. Dude, BotCon was my first back in 2008.
Oh, wow.
I was the one in Cincinnati, and I wasn't deluxe or anything. I was just, mad.
Just your average guy.
Just average guy. I wasn't, and that stuff. And dude, that was just like to walk in and just see all of them Transformers. I know. I was like, man, I did not bring enough money. I did not.
I definitely didn't bring enough to this BotCon. I'll tell you that.
It was just so much. Yeah, I mean, when you first BotCon, you there, it's not, you're just there. The toys are just everything. What's up, Kato? Kato just subbed to you, so that's awesome.
I appreciate that. Thanks for the sub.
But anyways, yeah. All right, so that's cool. Yeah, man, I wish I got to meet you, man, but we'll meet sometime. I know we will.
Definitely one day.
So next one is going to be kind of another thing about favorite Transformer line or cartoon, and are you into comics or anything like that, or as far as Transformers?
Well, actually, funny enough, I've been really getting interested. Ironically enough, when they're finally starting to stop doing the comic, I've been really getting interested in the IDW. I know. I've been interested in the IDWs. I specifically like the Lost Light stuff. I've been really intrigued, as many people are by that. I think it's just a really cool, kind of unique concept of how they did it. So it's something that I definitely want to get into. But when it comes to I guess series and lines and stuff, I was a huge Transformers Prime guy. I really love that series.
One of my favorites too. Probably my favorite, other than G1. You can always go back to Prime and everything. That's a good series.
Of course. And then obviously, I think I mentioned, I grew up on G1, and that's what most of this junk is back here on this side. All G1. I love me G1. But I do want to expand out to different categories. I do like just some of the unique stylizations, at least when it comes to figure wise. Obviously you can get the really tuned stuff, but some of these that are coming out there, or good example, Iron Factory. I love a lot of those guys. I'm thinking about collecting some of those guys, but not like a specific line, but I really like some just unique kind of takes on things.
Yeah, they're definitely. If you want to just reach out to me, man, I'll tell you which are some of the good ones that I like. I'm not telling you. I'm not going to tell you what to buy, but I'm just going to tell you the ones that are really good. Iron Factory does. They look really good. They're stylized. They're in their own lane. They're doing the Samurai series now, which they have some decent. The last two ones, like the Grimlock, I'd say that's a must buy.
That's what I was thinking. It looks beautiful.
Love it. It's just so much. The paint is great. It's a great figure, and I like Lockdown. A lot of people don't like Lockdown, but I love the Lockdown that they did. I think them two have been one of my favorites of the Iron Factory. So, yeah, if you need any help with some of the Iron Factory stuff, man, I'll be more than happy to help you.
I'll definitely have to talk to you about that.
Definitely. Sheik's Transformer Reviews. Have you been reading the last bot standing stuff? I guess I think that's the last stuff that the IDW's putting out.
I have not. I haven't touched any of the comics. The main thing I've been trying to figure out is just a good spot to read them, because I know it's just a nightmare to find them either for a good price or just in a decent place to read them that's not garbage. So that's my main thing I'm working on right now. Okay, but one day I will. One day I will catch up on all the IDW stuff, because I really want to watch it.
Awesome.
Or read it.
Are you buying any of the legacy stuff? Or have you bought anything like that? The new stuff?
I, funny enough, when it comes to the legacy and a lot of the mainline stuff, I'm the type of person who likes to cycle it in and out of my collection. So I like a lot of the stuff that Hasbro makes. I will say, yeah, obviously might not be up to the same quality and standard as 10 years ago, but for what they're doing, I think they're doing a pretty good job with a lot of their stuff. So I like to pick up the occasional figure that I like. I got actually, funny enough, I got it right here. I have my custom-ish Netflix Soundwave that I replaced out the legacy chest with for that nice, here I can kind of do
very nice.
that. So it's got that nice gold chest, and then I also painted his blaster and stuff. But I got a couple mainline. I got my Omega hanging out behind me all the way up there.
Yeah.
We got the Arc hanging out there that I kind of flip-flop them every now and again with. But I collect the occasional one, just not. What I like to say is that I don't want to have, besides Soundwave. Soundwave's different, but besides Soundwave, I like to only have like 1 to maybe 2 definitive versions of it. Because I mean, as cool as all of them are, it's like, do I need 4 Perceptors? Do I need 3 blasters?
Well, actually, you do, but now I understand what you're saying.
That's true. That's true.
But some characters you just not like. I just got the Fans Toys Hitch, which is their hoist. That's an MP scale. I don't have any other ones, but I'm fine. That's my hoist. Like I don't he's not a character that I need. 15 of them. Now Starscream, like I said, I'm gonna get everything Starscream. Just like
there you go.
Way, I'm gonna get Starscream. But there's certain characters that I don't need, that I really don't want. I don't need to have, especially MP scale.
That's very true.
If I have one, I'm good to go. Fans Toys looks great on the shelf. I'm good to go. I don't need another one. But I say that, but I may. My boy Extra Zero, he wants to get rid of the Toon version from X Transpots, so I might get that, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, I don't understand what you're saying. There's just just sometimes you don't need all that stuff around. So.
Plus, at least, I mean, I know for you and me and most other collectors out there, you only got so much space to display in. So if you have too many, you're going to be having what I hate to see, the wall effect of just wall upon walls of figures.
Well, my collection is the wall.
That's it. But that's all right though. If you as long as you make it work, that's the best thing I could say. As long as you make it work.
Want to display, how you like. If you don't want to clutter, a cluster of stuff. Like I see the background, you have yours, decently spaced out, so you can see each one and everything. So, that's what you like, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks about what it is. So
I will say half of it is because I'm lazy and haven't put lights in my shelves yet. But
that's true. That's true. All right,
we'll get there one day.
Okay, so number 5 question. Now I'm doing a couple questions about you. Maybe that you can tell. What is one of your dream vacations? Like if you could go anywhere, and do it. Money's not an issue. Time is not an issue. Where is somewhere you would love to go and spend, like maybe a week or something too?
Well, I mean, I know a lot of normally say like Japan, which is personally where I'd want to go, but I have a few reasons why I'd want to go there, just for the obvious like anime fan junk. But but that's actually not the main reason. The main reason I'd want to go is because as a big music fan, I'm extremely fascinated by all the unique like sounds and instruments that they use in that culture. Like one of my personal favorite instruments of all time is the shamisen, which I just call the Eastern banjo. So but it's such a beautiful instrument. I love hearing it in songs. I make sure like if I'm listening some nice lo-fi and junk in the background, if it's got some shamisen in there, it just is beautiful. I love it. But that be my main vacation spot. Japan, just kind of explore, experience all the stuff, and of course the Transformers as well.
Oh yeah, dude! Talk about, not just Transformers, just anything, robots, all the tools, just to walk
Gundam
into
as well,
like a 15-story mall or something, and just stuff just everywhere.
It's wild.
I would love to go there and everything, and that would be one of my favorite. I've told my wife I would love to go to Japan. Just the culture and and to see all that stuff and everything. So man,
definitely.
You want it for the music, and that's awesome. That's pretty cool. Very nice. All right, so my next question, I always say, I don't want anything bad to happen to you, but if you could have one last meal, what would that last meal be?
baby back ribs with some
Ooh,
good old golden mashed potatoes and a little bit of
okay,
gravy on top.
nice. Okay,
That's a
I like
nice,
that. Now,
nice, good meal.
now from any like from what your family cooks, or is this from any
Oh,
specific place that
hmm.
you like? Like Applebee's has baby back ribs, but I don't think you would probably want Applebee's baby
Yeah,
back
bro.
ribs. I mean, that would be like,
Uh,
eh.
I don't know if it'd be any like specific place, but I definitely would say some like nice like home like
Home cooking.
recipe ribs. Yeah,
Okay,
like it got
yeah,
maybe the home style. I know like one of my old family members, if we want to count that, has a barbecue sauce that they used to
yeah.
kind of mix together. That was really good. So like something like that, like a nice home style barbecue sauce on some nice ribs.
Nice. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. DOL said there's a restaurant in Japan that has a museum of Gundams. Man,
Ooh,
see that would
I think I've seen pictures and stuff of that. It looks so
that
cool.
would just be cool. And Sheik said he's been to Japan and said but didn't get to leave the base. Oh, you were stationed in Japan. Okay, fair enough.
Oh
I was
yeah, I know.
stationed.
I actually know Sheik. How you doing, Sheik?
I was stationed in Germany. I wish I would have got to. There was almost went to Korea, but luckily I didn't because they moved my
Oh,
orders to Germany. So I had a great time in Germany. So that's pretty
there you
cool.
go. There
Very
you
nice. But I
go.
understand leaving the base, man. I was in El Paso, Texas for training, and I could stand on a hill and see Mexico, and they wouldn't let us go because of the gang wars and everything. So I was so close to Mexico, and I didn't ever get to go because probably would have got killed. But thank God we didn't
Yeah.
get killed. So anyway, but
Hey, there you
cool.
go.
So yeah, baby back ribs. That's a good choice. That's good. Nobody's ever said that before. That's a good choice.
Oh, that's
All
interesting.
right.
I love me some ribs.
So next question: if you could start your collecting over again, if you wanted to, would you do it a different way, or would you just keep the way just keep the way you're doing it now?
Oh, I'd say 100% restart scratch. If I could like start with the original amount of money that I had and just
Yeah.
start exactly where I was, I'd 100% redo the entire thing. Like I have spent so much money buying mainline and then being like, I want masterpiece instead, and then
Yeah.
selling them all to get some masterpiece or get some legend figures. Like legend,
Yeah.
I didn't even know about until like a year into collecting. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah. I think. Well, I mean, so would you? I mean, would you start? Would you start just collecting masterpiece and legend scale then,
I
basically?
would probably what I'd mainly do is I'd collect. I try to get what most people try to do with their masterpiece. I do legend scale all as just to get every figure that I possibly could, every
Okay.
character possible, and then with
Mhm.
masterpiece, I would just get the ones that I really like or I
Yeah.
think are just really cool, just display pieces I know would be cool to have.
Gotcha.
But
Okay. Yeah, I've told myself, and I said that if I could start over, I would just do. I maybe probably do just legends, maybe
yeah,
MP too, but I don't know. But I love Transformers so much. It just it hurts me not to get Transformers sometimes. But I would love
mhm.
just to go back and collect legends because what they're doing so far. I mean, what they're doing now, it's just wonderful. I mean, golly, just so many choices. And
It's amazing.
who's your favorite legends company?
I definitely gotta go with at least New Age for what I mostly buy, but I will
Okay.
say I personally think that Magic Square has the better sculpts and designs
They're doing
overall.
better. Oh, they're doing. Oh, I man. Since their Prime version 2.0,
Hmm.
they put out some good stuff. Hound, Jazz, Ironhide, Ratchet.
I got that iron. Actually, funny enough, my Ironhide has two of the same arm, so
Yeah,
it's
you told
just
me about that.
oh
Yeah, it
yeah,
was.
yeah,
I
yeah.
told
So
you to
I
reach out to your whoever you got it from, and
yeah, actually, it was funny. I'm waiting on Agabus to get back to me. That's where
okay,
I actually got them from. So I'm just
okay,
waiting for them to
gotcha.
get back from Magic Square, get all that junk.
Yeah,
But luckily, I'm able to transform him. He's able to go. It's able to go, and it's just a weird little panel, so it's not a
little panel.
huge deal.
Okay,
So
that's fine. Well, Sheik, thank you so much, man. I'll subscribe to you. Do you do? I guess you do Transform reviews too as well. So cool.
he's a
Once.
lovely individual. I actually know him. I talked to him.
Okay.
He does some fantastic stuff as well.
Oh, well, they're good. I'll have to. Yeah, I'll look at your channel. I'll subscribe to YouTube, man, as well, man. Just after this, give me time to do that. Everything, okay?
Yeah, of course.
But thank you so much for subscribing and everything. But yeah, that's cool. So yeah, collecting everything. But yeah, Magic Square is doing some really good stuff. And they got some other stuff coming out right now. I should be getting the recolor Shockwave, the toy color
Ooh,
version.
that's
Um,
cool.
I just got in the black version of Ironhide. The uh, Oh, Diaclone
Yeah,
version.
I was gonna say
So
I didn't even know that Magic Square did a Diaclone version of that.
yep, they just did a Diaclone version, and
Interesting.
then they got the 2.0 version of the Masterpiece scaled Optimus Prime coming out
Oh,
too as
I've seen
well.
that one. Yeah, that one looks
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, and I don't know what else. I'm sure they got some other stuff coming, but yeah, they've been doing a really good job. So New Age has always been for me. Magic Square has been there up there, but they're getting up there closer too as well because they're the scale. I mean, if they're bigger, and they just
Hmm.
I don't know. But the only thing I could really knock it is the transformations a lot more than what New Age does. I'm just like kind of, come on now, we don't need
Yeah,
15,000 steps for to
that's it.
transform a legends, but
See, I actually did a video talking about just like what my personal ultimate or legend scale transformer would be. So just taking like traits from every single company and trying to like come up with
oh
the best
yeah,
hypothetical figure. And what I
yeah,
came up with was using Magic Square's sculpt and
mhm.
then using what's it called? Then using New Age's paint because their
Oh yeah,
paint is
definitely.
amazing.
Oh
And
definitely.
then the materials, assuming that it'd work with the transformation, because I know Magic Square likes to kind of use that plastic to their
Yeah, the gummy
advantage.
plastic, but I've said it a couple times with with Hound and Jazz and everything. I think that plastic fits what they're going for. Just kind of they're going for the
Yeah.
tune version, so it's kind of
Hmm.
dull and plain. So I think it really matches well because I think that if they put paint on that stuff, I don't think they've done one. I think it was Prowl. I think they did Prowl. They had some kind of shiny coat on there, and it just didn't look right. It just didn't feel right for Magic Square. So I think what they're doing with their plastic which is kind of gummy, which a lot of people don't like. I don't care. It's fine. But I think it
Yeah.
really matches the G1 tune aesthetic that they're going for.
Hmm.
Just what I'm thinking. Everything. But
Hey, that it's not a bad idea, and I definitely like with my backgrounds I got in the back. I will say they look so the Magic Square ones look so much better with that like flat aesthetic with
mm-hmm.
the flat background,
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to let's see, or New Age, actually, you know what? Never mind. Scratch that. I completely forgot what I was gonna say on that. Don't worry about
That's
that.
fine. I love New Age. I love their materials, their paint. I mean, they're just if they were just a little bit taller,
If they're
man.
McFan's toys size,
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
everyone would be happy.
Yeah, and I'm good with now I don't McFans toys not really because they're just straight knockoffs. Now the Mechanic
I
Toys and Mechanic
yeah, that
Studios,
one.
they have the triple changers they did really good. The Rodimus Prime they did really good. They
Hmm.
Springer they did was really good. Man, they knocked it out of the park with the triple changers. I really love all the triple changers. So
Hmm.
I think they got Sandstorm coming out soon too as well. So I'm
Oh,
really excited
really?
for that. Yeah.
That's cool.
So when they do their own thing, it's really good.
Oh,
It
of
really
course.
is.
Just when they're
But
not knocking off
yeah, the
Magic
knockoff
Square.
stuff, I'm kind of just like, I don't usually get. I may get it and then review it, and then I'll sell it,
The
but I don't usually keep those because I just don't really need them and everything.
the only one that I've kept that I've like genuinely like half liked is their blaster, just because the
Okay,
actual Magic Square blaster is, in my opinion, a little too small. So I'd
yeah,
rather have it a little too large than a little too
yeah, and
small.
plus
But
that was one of their very. I want to say one of
mhm.
top five. That was old. That's old school.
Yeah, it's
But
old
that
school.
plastic was really gummy. If you can look at him and Sideswipe and all those, they were really gummy. So they got a little better, a little harder on the plastic, but yeah, that was one of their first stuff and everything. So yeah, I can understand why you would want
Yeah.
a bigger
Oh,
blaster.
actually, I remember what I was gonna say. Quick, do you have the Magic Square Perceptor by chance?
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
I got mine, and I think mine's. I don't know if they had a painted version, but mine looks painted and stuff. It matches the aesthetic of
They did
all.
another version. They did. I
Then
didn't get. I
that's what
got
it
the
is.
first one. I got that one, the tune that they did. I guess they did the EX version is what they usually call it, or
I
X
guess
version.
so.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's got
because
it probably had paint on it.
I got that guy, and the plastic on that one's a little bit more firm compared to
Hmm.
what they normally use. So it's kind of weird because
Yeah,
I'm like, this literally
yeah.
looks and
I don't.
feels like a new age.
I'm trying to think if I got either. I got their first Optimus Prime in the X version. It was like they painted it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think if they did any other EX versions, but yeah, they did the
I think they might have
Perceptor.
done Megatron, but other than that, they've.
Yeah, Megatron. Yeah, and I think they did another version of Hound, but it was more the toy colors. I don't
Oh
know if
yeah,
they
yeah.
painted it or not. It's more darker green than the original one that I had, like the toy version or two version and everything. But yeah, that Perceptor is really good. That's a yeah, like I said, from there, from Prime, Perceptor, all those other ones, they're really good. Oh my god,
Yeah,
it's just like
just
this. The engineering alone is like
oh yeah.
it's mind blowing. It's like this, this tall, and it's got so many transformation things. Like, come on now,
And
that's
just
just awesome.
like and a lot of the articulation on them as well. It's just like
Wow,
baffling. Some of it's better than
ridiculous.
the MPs.
Yeah, ridiculous. My gosh, better some of the fans toy stuff, man. Golly. Good. Um,
Exactly.
all right, so going to the next question. Which one did I say? So if you can start. Okay, I already asked it. So how many Transformers do you have? Roughly, do you know that you have in your collection?
Ah, rough numbers, maybe like 100,
100. Okay.
but not crazy like a lot of other people. I know some people are like almost in the thousands with some of their
Oh, I
figures.
have
Like,
more. I have way more than that, dude.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I've only started within the past few years, so my
Okay.
collection is still fairly small for what it is. Plus, I do got my anime shelf that I do focus on the occasion if I
Yeah.
feel like it.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Awesome. Hey, it doesn't matter how big it is, as long as you're happy with it. That's all that matters. Giggity.
Actually, as I said in your live stream before, as long as you are happy with your collection, it doesn't matter what anyone else says,
That
as
is
long as
true.
you're happy, because you're the one that's going to be dealing with it 24/7. You're the one that's going to be taking care of it. So
And you're
you
the
want
one
to make
paying. You're
sure.
the one paying for it. So that's all that
Exactly.
matters. All right. Awesome. All right. Number 9. So, other than Transformers, other than collecting, what do you do in your spare time? What do you like to do?
Uh,
And I know you say stream. I'm sure you say you like to play
yeah.
video games and everything. So
Yeah, so I do a lot of streaming in my free time. That's usually what I do in my evenings.
okay.
But most of the time I am just kind of working, doing my thing. If I want to work on another thing too, obviously, since we're talking about just content, if I got some spare time and I really got the time and effort to
Yeah.
actually do in video, I'll probably either do some like photo shoots and stuff for some
Oh
figures, because
yeah.
that honestly takes a long time, especially for I'm coming out with the new posing video for Studio Series figures, and I got like
Yeah.
60 plus photos, all just like individual, like
Man.
turn this, turn that.
Yeah. I understand. Oh no, I love that. Like I said, I told you if I didn't do reviews, I'm still going to take pictures. But it relaxes
Mhm.
me. I love taking pictures, like posing them and stuff and everything. So it's a fun time and everything. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I love doing as well.
and you need to
So
get Instagram. You need to get Instagram.
I know I'll get Instagram. I'll make
Post
one.
your pictures, man. Everybody likes that kind of stuff.
Hey, who knows? This might be my push to finally do it.
Awesome. All right. Well, I got one more question. Now, if anybody else
Sure.
in the chat has any questions for Speakerhead, definitely put them up and I'll ask them. But
Definitely.
my last question is: do you have any advice for any others that want to start with a YouTube channel? What advice would you give them?
Yeah. So, my first advice, and this is what a lot of generic advice is create your channel right away, because until you create your channel, you're just going to be sitting there with that idea, and then someone might take it or you just might lose interest. But the second you make that channel, it's set in stone. So even if
Yeah.
you don't use it, you're like, okay, if I do, like, good example, I think the Speakerhead channel I made back actually in 2020, but I didn't end up using it until about a year ago.
Oh, okay.
Or so it's like because like I said, I knew I was gonna come up with a like channel for my Speakerhead stuff. I just didn't know when or what, but I'm like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make that channel and make sure it's set. So that's probably my number one goal. Other than that, I guess just make sure you take the time to look to see what other people are doing, because as we were kind of talking about, especially if you plan on doing videos on like review stuff, you realize it's just an ocean of millions of other people. You said yourself, Deluxe, your
Yeah.
grandma's making, or your grandma could be making reviews and stuff,
Yes.
and
There's a
everyone's
lot of people
making
making
reviews.
reviews. Yeah.
So
You got to stand out, and
mhm.
have fun. I mean, you gotta have fun. Once you stop having fun,
Oh,
it kind of gets boring and stuff and everything.
don't let it not be fun until you're rich at YouTube already, and then it can stop being fun.
and and don't plan on. I'm just gonna tell you right. Don't plan on getting rich on YouTube.
Yeah, don't plan that either. Don't
It
plan
is
that either.
more than likely not going to happen. But it is a possibility. I'm not saying it can't, but it's hard and everything. So
But
very cool.
actually, the one main advice tip I can give, and this is what I personally do for all of my videos, and this is also going with kind of being creative and doing something unique. When you're creating a video, make sure you are, first off, come up with an idea that you're interested in.
Oh
And
yeah.
then once you actually make the video, go back and watch it a few times and see if it's actually a video you would be interested in watching. Because there's a good chance if you're not interested in watching your video, no one else is gonna be interested either. If you bore yourself, like who else is gonna listen?
Like, what in the hell am I watching?
Exactly. So just make sure that if you're doing something, you're putting passion to it, and it's actually something that you would want to enjoy, instead of just thinking, oh, this might get clicks or whatever. Just like, oh, is this something that I'd want to watch? Is this
so? Oh, that's a good point, man. Good point. Yeah. Any Toby just subbed to you and everything. I'm hoping, if everybody in
appreciate
here,
it.
If you haven't subbed, like I said, I put his link in the description. Definitely go, sub and everything, and go sub the sheets too as well.
Of course, and I appreciate everyone's sub. I will say I make videos when I can, but I promise they're okay when I do. So
no, they're good, man. They're good. So Craig asked, what is your most enjoyable moment with a Transformer as a kid? Which this is a good question. So do you have any like fond memories? Which is not very far. It's a couple of years for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a youngin'.
Do you have any fond memories of as playing with Transformers as a kid, or getting a Transformer as a kid?
I actually remember, funny enough, the first ever new Soundwave I got, because I remember that's when Transformers Animated was around. So funny enough, that's still probably my favorite design for an alt mode for Soundwave that isn't the classic cassette. It's just a beautiful looking vehicle mode.
It's a good one. And it got the Laserbeak as the guitar. Then I think Sound Blaster had Ratbat as a keytar. It was like
I completely forgot about Ratbat. That's a whole memory. But that one I specifically remember. I found them in a bunch of boxes. I found my old animated figures. Nice. I got my old Bulkhead, and then I got my old my old Soundwave sitting over there. But I remember that Soundwave was like the first Soundwave, because I saw all the G1 Soundwaves and I saw him in store. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Soundwave.
That's so awesome. But it's awesome that you tell the story, but it also makes me feel old that Animated was your kid as a kid. You were getting animated stuff. I'm just like, dude, that was my first BotCon was 2008. That's when Animated come out. And I remember we had a chance to they put out the early releases for people at BotCon. We got to go around the Kmarts and stuff. They put out Wave 1 and Wave 2. So as I was leaving BotCon from Cincinnati, we got to Kentucky, and we went to a Kmart, and they had all both Wave 1 and 2, and I got the whole waves and everything.
There you go.
1, 2, and everything. And that, I was still an adult. I was in my 30s, and you're talking about getting an anime Soundwave at 8 or 9 years old. And I'm like,
I know. I will say though, the first ever Soundwave that I bought with my own, or the first, I think it was Transformer in general, I bought with my own money, was an old original 1985 Soundwave figure. It was just some guy was selling off for like $20, and I'm like, Dad, I need to buy this because I needed his permission to use his card, and then I gave him the money. But I'm like, Dad, I need this.
Awesome. Now, was your dad a big Transformer fan as a kid?
Actually, funny enough, he was not. He was actually a huge Star Trek fan, which on the occasion I still watch the old original Star Trek with him. But no, he was surprisingly not a huge Transformers fan. It was kind of funny because he had the like old 1986 movie for whatever reason, but I guess he just liked like cartoon aesthetics and stuff. Yeah. But
Oh, cool, man. Star Trek. I thought you were gonna say Star Wars, because that would have been around Star Wars or around that area and
my dad's an old fart. He's coming up on I'm sorry, he is. I think he's turning 64 this year. So
okay, that's cool. So he was back. That was even before my time.
Oh yeah, I think he grew up watching the original like Star Trek stuff. Okay, so because I know he still watches 60s? It today. 60s, because he was born in 58 as far as I remember.
Okay, so he would have been a kid around the late 60s and everything. So okay, very nice. So he was okay. So he would have been Transformer. He would have been in his 20s, almost 30s when Transformer came out. So okay, that's why
it was a little past his time already. I know that I always found that weird too. I've always been curious to ask him about it one day, because I don't even remember if it was one that he like bought or he just recorded it. He saw it on TV one day. He's like, "Oh, the kids will like that."
Recording it, man. God, I used to get blank tapes and record stuff. Oh man, I'm so old. Anyways, that's cool.
I feel like everyone has at least one that says wedding on it.
But usually they taped over it with
true.
Porn or something.
Or it's something like WWE wrestling match later night.
Pops in, it's like, this is not a wedding. Come on, man. anyway. All right. Well, Crates has another one. Let's see.
Yeah.
What is your latest Transformer? If you didn't already answer it, so yeah, what was I guess your last Transformer you bought?
I'm trying to think. Yeah. Actually, funny enough, I do know Crates as well. Hi, Crates. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Let's see. What the most recent ones that I got, I'd say honestly, actually, it was I remember it was actually after BotCon, because a little funny story about it. At BotCon, I was at the Agabus table and there was a little Toy World box mixed in with the Legend figures. So I was like, that's kind of weird to see that, considering
Okay.
Toy
Yeah,
World
Torbo
does not.
does.
I
Well,
mean,
no,
they
they
don't
do.
make stuff
They do.
anymore.
No,
Do
I
they?
mean, no, they're still yeah, they're doing the World War II stuff, but they've done
Oh
some
yeah,
they've done some Legend figures too as well, a couple.
yeah. But long story short, I was just like, it's a little weird to see, because they usually, as far as I'm aware, they don't carry a lot of their Toy World stuff, and especially they're like, I know that Agabus doesn't get the Toy World, like the ones you're mentioning, those Heart of Steel, I believe it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I saw that and I'm like, and it was obviously just a little gray box. It wasn't like the colorful New Age or anything. So I'm like, this is weird. So I was asking them about it. It wasn't in their system or anything. So I talked to Hanny about it. He's like, yeah, I just can't stumbled across a random black color. It was one. It was just one. He's like, he got his hands on one black colored, the alternate colored Wheeljack that has the little Styx logo on it.
Okay, the whiskey, was it Whiskey Jack?
Whiskey Jack, yeah.
Yes, I don't have. I've reviewed him, but I borrowed. I got it from somebody. Not a bad figure. Did they did a was it Slicer? It was, or did they do a black and purple redeco of him?
Yeah, they did a black and purple redeco. That's what that's the one that I got on my shelf. I will say this: I didn't know at the time it was the black and purple one, but I will say once I got it, I liked it better than the actual just Wheeljack colors. I think it's just a really cool design, especially since it's got the gold head and everything. It's a really cool.
Black and purple always. I love that deco. If Starscream wasn't my favorite character, I think Skywarp would probably be, because I just like that black and purple deco together. It just looks so good on a Decepticon. So. Oh yeah, I can understand why you got it. So yeah, I guess it's Whiskey Jack. I think that's his name.
Yeah, actually, funny enough, I watched your video on the review because I was like, I want to. Yeah, I'm like, I want to check out this. Yeah,
that was a minute ago. That was.
I know.
I want to say at least 2 or 3 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. It's a figure you don't see too often these days.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's true. He only had one of them. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
pretty nice. That's a good one. I mean, it wasn't bad if I can remember it. It wasn't terrible.
It's pretty basic compared to these days standards.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing groundbreaking or anything like that. Like, this is the second coming of Legends and everything, but not a bad one. Okay.
I will say it is probably my favorite 1-2 transform, because it is so easy to transform compared to the rest.
Gotcha. You're gonna like Iron Factory, man, because they're kind of easy to transform. To be honest,
I got one Iron Factory. I got their one Hound back there. I got that one Hound back there. So that's my tipping point. Now I'm gonna start branching out.
Awesome. Andrew asks, what Transformer have you paid too much for just because you had to have it? Have you had like that?
I'd say I guess if you want to say the 3-0 sound, because that's just a pretty pricey, like.
Oh, that's a good one. I love some 3-0. Dude.
Yeah, that's this guy right here. There he is.
Is that the blue one or the Shattered Glass one?
Oh, it's not the Shattered Glass. And funny enough, I don't own any Shattered Glass Soundwaves. I want to get one though. I want to get one.
Yeah, they did a. I think it was a BBTS exclusive. They did a white version of the movie version one.
But I'm trying to think. I don't think there's any figure that I personally have that I would consider I overpaid for. I'd say, if anything, I got most of my figures like U.S. retail value is the best way of putting it. So it's like, if you want to say I got scammed that way, whatever. I'll support Agabus. I'll pay the extra prices. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. Agabus, he's a good dude. I wish the best for him and everything. So,
but yeah, I did not pay the $200 for this guy.
My gosh, I hope not. Jesus,
but I feel bad for people.
They got the Shattered Glass version of him coming out too, as well. They showed
I saw that.
It's
a great looking figure. I didn't watch it, but I've been seeing a lot of the videos and stuff coming up about it. So
yeah, I got you. Awesome. Well, man, Speaker Head, it's been almost an hour, man. So this was a good show. I don't
want to hold you up.
I say no. I'll say around. Usually, when I say around 30, if you last less than 30 minutes, that wasn't probably a good show then. But I had a great time, dude. Like I said, I'll put your YouTube channel in the description. already had a couple people already subscribe to you, and that's awesome.
I
Like I said, if you haven't
appreciate
subscribed
that.
to him, definitely go check out his stuff. And like I said, I'll get the stuff you sent me, and I'll put that in the description too as well.
Absolutely. But the one thing I will say before anyone checks out my stuff, go watch it, Deluxe's stuff 3 times over before you go check out my stuff. You go help this beautiful bearded man. I wish I could grow facial hair like that. This has been a year of work. We'll get there in about 40.
I used to think I used to be like you. Like I didn't think this little area would grow ever.
Oh yeah.
It finally started growing in and everything because it would just I'd have the mustache and then just everything. But I had
Oh
that
yeah.
right here, it just wouldn't grow in sometimes, and I was like,
mm-hmm. It's like this cheek is fine, but this one doesn't want to. It doesn't want to.
Awesome. Yeah, DOL says definitely the Iron Factory, the Grimlock is just
that one I really want to get, even if it's the one Iron Factory figure I get besides the other one I got, like I gotta get that one. It's so beautiful.
I think you will be impressed. It is really a fun, the transformation. Like I said, their samurai stuff has been hit and miss, but the transformation is real easy. But this one's kind of more, has more steps into it and everything.
Gotcha. So that's. I mean, it is a bigger figure, so it makes sense.
And it looks good, dude. Both moves look really good and everything. So, but anyway, dude, I want to thank you so much for joining me, man. I'm glad I got to go back and do another round 30. I need to reach out to some more people if they want to do a round 30. I just haven't, nobody's reached out to me, and I usually don't even promote it because I haven't done one in a long time. But I used to.
Hey, it's only when you got time. It's when you got time.
And they're fun and everything. But I just want to say thank you for coming on, dude. It was a pleasure. And like I said, if you go to TFCon, definitely hit me up. If you go to another BotCon, definitely hit me up, man. So we can hang out and everything. It'd be pretty cool.
But it was a pleasure to be here, though. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me and talk about Transforming. And you're welcome back on anytime if you want to do a live thing. If you want to go and do anything like that, we'll definitely do it and everything. But I want to thank everybody for coming in. Like I said, if you don't, as my wife, she was sneezing. I don't know if she threw up or something.
Bless her, and hopefully not throwing up.
I want to thank everybody for coming in. Definitely, like I said, if you have not gone over to subscribe to his channel, definitely go check that out. And I'm going to put the rest of his stuff in there as well. And
appreciate that.
Everybody, thank you so much for stopping by. And as always, be good to yourself. Man, hell freaking half, bro. And y'all take care. Love everybody like step cousins. And roll tide. So good night, folks.
Take it easy.
In this broadcast.